Hi, this is Corey Chambers in Los Angeles. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. Thanks for taking a minute to listen in. In a moment, I'll share with you some valuable information about this topic. The Great Depression of 2020. If you see any properties that are of interest to you, let us know. We will gladly send you a property information packet on any loft, condo, or house, or we will arrange for a private preview upon request. If you have a home you'd like to sell, then you should know that I will guarantee the sale of your present home at a price acceptable to you, or I'll buy it for cash. This guarantee will allow you to buy your next home without worrying about selling your present home. To find out how much you could sell your home for, call me at 213-880-9910 now. Great Depression 2.0. This is a coronavirus update about unemployment and economic collapse. This is the real estate news, Los Angeles, California. On March 15th, recently, a number of Google searches for Great Depression shot up to its highest level in 15 years. People searching for that term, Great Depression, on Google. So not many people have searched for that terms, not that many, and that was the most in 15 years, as the stock market crash awakened people to the unfortunate possibilities. Today we must prepare ourselves for reality of the market in 2020 as the Great Depression 2.0, as some of the numbers are already much worse than what the U.S. economy experienced in 1929. So here's why things could be much worse and much better today. The unemployment rate in 1929 was good. In fact, it took nearly 4 years of chaos following the stock market crash for unemployment to bottom out in 1933. Great Depression 2.0 today has already caused the fastest and most sweeping unemployment in history. The worldwide economic shutdown caused by coronavirus panic has already caused the fastest and most severe business collapse of any event in history. The shutdown has instantly caused the real estate market to come to a standstill and collapse. Even hospitals, doctors, and nurses who are not directly involved in coronavirus acute respiratory care, even those doctors, nurses, and hospitals are suffering financial hardship and bankruptcy. So, as we speak, the expenses compound. For each day of the great lockdown, overhead keeps costing, debt keeps soaring, and the hole grows bigger. Real cost and loss grow exponentially. Nearly every industry is being decimated. The large number of scared Americans is going to find a very big bill, with vastly reduced resources to pay that bill. The virus does not care about politics. Money only cares about resources and labor, both of which have been largely cut off. Unhealthy people are the victims of the virus, the same elderly and compromised individuals who suffer from seasonal flu every year, with similar results every year. Without thinking about how the panic is going to affect their health in the future, those impacted by the Great Depression 2.0 are all going to point the finger at other people as the source of their financial and health woes. I shouldn't say they're all going to point the finger, but in general, most or many are going to be pointing the finger at other people as the enemies or the people who caused the problem. Economic depression is only part of the problem. Health problems caused by poverty extend deep into the future. Mental health issues such as depression, anxiety are skyrocketing now, along with domestic violence and suicide. Several states, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and other states, are placing bans on evictions and foreclosures, and those bans on evictions and foreclosures will force investors and banks into foreclosure and insolvency. The IMF, International Monetary Fund, has warned several times. They put out repeated warnings of the worst downturn since the Great Depression. More than half of an entire year's gross domestic product for the entire country has been spent by the government already on this panic. When adding the cost to the entire economy for everything, we're looking at about 1.5 years to 4.5 years more of income to repair that economic damage. So we're not just talking about time. We're talking about 1.5 to 4 years worth of money. 1.5 years of my money, 1.5 to 4 years of your money to pay all this off. That's how much money is being spent and lost right now. The government and mainstream media have done quite a terrible job, and that's an understatement. Terrible, miserable, because it's worse than a poor job. It's almost a purposely done destruction. So something in between a terrible job and purposeful destruction of the economy. That's the kind of job that they've done in managing and disseminating statistics. The Great Depression 2.0 today has been precipitated by Americans being presented with misleading statistics of infection and exaggerated projections of death. The biggest distortions have been via obfuscation and cover-up of true causes of death. 99% of all so-called coronavirus deaths are linked to pre-existing ailments, other diseases. This trend sadly extends to economic forecasting. They have no idea how to calculate the toll on the economy or how to account for damage to the future health of Americans. In economic reports, we know to expect large amounts of bad information from the government and mainstream media. Before it's all over, the virus is wrongly blamed for economic mismanagement, and all types of people will be blamed as scapegoats for the lack of discipline by others. Fortunately, major silver linings exist in these enormous dark clouds. The damage is extraordinary, but the silver linings are commensurate, correspondingly gigantic. To compensate for some of the economic damage, a depression brings astounding opportunities that are difficult for most to fathom. To give you some examples of opportunities during the Great Depression, which was smaller than the problems and opportunities of Depression 2020. During the 1929 Depression, Babe Ruth made a fortune in that Great Depression. Famous robber John Dillinger made millions from his unlawful exploits. Film star James Cagney made a huge fortune as one of Hollywood's highly paid box office stars in gangster movies. Many other singers and entertainers also made a killing at that time. You may not have heard this name, Charles Darrow, but he was the creator of the Monopoly game, and he became the world's first millionaire game designer. Now, if you listen closely to what I've mentioned and what I'm going to mention, these all can be translated into jobs and opportunities today. Oilman J. Paul Getty snatched up depressed oil stocks with his inheritance and created a new petroleum empire. Those who are thinking about energy today are going to be thinking about solar and wind, geothermal, ocean wave energy, and all kinds of other energies, including people who are really into big risks and big rewards. They're already working on nuclear fission, the same type of energy that the sun creates at the center of the sun. So, aviation entrepreneur Howard Hughes made his fortune during that time as well. Huge fortunes in huge industries during the Great Depression. Many others made a mint during the Great Depression, including Joe Kennedy Sr., the guy who started the whole Kennedy empire with his stock speculation, real estate, and liquor, and movies. So if you just think about these and how they translate into opportunities today, it's going to be the same types of big opportunities. Video games, virtual reality, all kinds of things like that. Shorting stocks. People have been making a tremendous fortune in shorting stocks for the last 2, 3, 4 months. So while we're still the same challenged creatures, us humans, who can barely figure out how to light a fire if we're in a natural setting, we do have vastly more technology and other resources at our disposal today. Vastly more than they had in 1929. So technology can and shall make up for human failings. Technology will help us dig ourselves out of this historic hole. Quantum computers, artificial intelligence, all that stuff is already creating new efficiencies. It's putting some people out of jobs. It's making other people rich. People who see the opportunities and are taking advantage of those opportunities and being part of the solution and helping other people. So boom or collapse, here's a link you can click on for more details about making $1 zillion or just losing everything. And here's a real estate, our ESTATE market 2020. So those who are motivated will deflect the negatives by fully taking advantage of all the positives. As wealth changes hands, and those who employ new ways to engage in good old-fashioned hard work and determination. So get a free list of loft foreclosures and distressed properties. Fill out this online form and get short sales, REO foreclosures, distressed properties, raw lofts, new listings in your email as soon as they come onto the market. Just fill out this short form. Okay? And here's people on a rooftop in Skid Row. So thanks for joining me and taking part and listening to the Great Depression of 2020, otherwise known as Depression 2.0. I'm Corey Chambers in Los Angeles. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. As I mentioned earlier, a property information packet on any loft, condo, or house is available upon request. Currently, to help with the panic, the extraordinary circumstances are going on. We are offering as a free community service. Just let us know what property you're interested in. We will go in there and we will video it. If there is no video on YouTube yet, we will put it on YouTube for you and send you a link. Absolutely free with no obligation to buy a place for any property in downtown Los Angeles and most any property in LA, and even further away. Thanks again. I'm Corey Chambers in Los Angeles. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. And take care. Bye-bye.